Today's class is going to be about how can we allow that density of the mind to not to create that density in the body. So like a lot of people have asked me about all these dimensions, about things, the heaven, the hell, and all that. So I'm going to consolidate it into more of an understanding in a spiritual context. So what I believe in my self-practice is your personality, your ego is quite a place of opposition to the consciousness if it doesn't serve the space of the consciousness. So if you wanted to see on a polarity level of the mind, ego can be the place of the devil, and consciousness can be the place of whatever we call the light, the universe, the God. And you're not separated. Even you have said to me, have I found my soulmate? I think the soul is not separated, whether it's a bird, whether it's a dog, and we all are experiencing that level of consciousness to a limitation of a body, whether I take a birth as a dog or I take a birth as the nature. It's not it's just still that space of that consciousness. And when you are, as a human, when you are conscious about the consciousness, you totally understand that your personality and your ego to prove things to the other person quite comes into a place of it doesn't have the same effect as before. So whatever your life is going through at this very moment, what we are trying to do through the practice is finding that consciousness to become aware of it. So whether you are, let's say, you are in a place of a lot of suffering and pain and all that in this human limitation and the density, what you will understand and slowly coming into that awareness that that's all are happening on the surface. Yes, you will have a human pain, you will have a human agony. I'm not disregarding them. I'm just saying that there is still a space that none of that is taking place within. So just gently, whether it's the breath, whether it's just coming into that space of the center, just trying to become aware of that space, because it is the answer beyond logic. No one can ever explain the God consciousness, but you can feel it. So I will move the camera towards Darren now, taking a deep breath in. Shoulders relax and chest open, and elongate the spine very gently into that space of that you are becoming conscious about. What is the purpose of this awareness? Consciousness is aware of the consciousness, whether it's a breath happening gently, a couple of more deep breaths, and even you feel like your entire life is spinning into chaos. You need not to fear into the place of the mind. Within, there is a remarkable sustaining spiritual center. Now seek out that, gently coming into the tune with the dimension that still place within. The I of the hurricane, but you're not the hurricane because there's so many things are happening in the world. So when you take that deep breath in and we allow the breath to very gently moving out the wildest, unpredictable twist of fate, there is a place that you're grounding yourself. And very gently you could see, first you will feel the density of the body, fighting all these unpredictable, wildest things. Like, the density is breaking down old order that you used to fight with them, you used to react with people, and you always say the problem is with that person doesn't understand me. This person doesn't understand me. I never had the voice. I never had the body. I never had the finance to prove them. I never had the health. So at this very moment, when you're in the place of the I, you could see that there is a new and more aligned way of being is very gently manifest, whether it's art, whether it's poetry for you, whether it's cooking for you, or whether it's simply being here at this very moment. Now, very gently, take a deep breath in, breath out very gently. Now, very gently in and out through the nostrils. Keep breathing in and out through the nostril. Just keep the chest open. Don't force the face. Don't force like normally what you normally do on Kapalabhati and Bhastrika. Keep breathing in and out. Keep breathing in and out. Now take a deep breath in and out. Now very gently, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock, and hold that breath within. If you can hold for 1 minute, it's okay. If you can hold for half a minute, it's okay. Just you can push the tongue onto the upper palate. Now take a deep breath in. And out. Now allow the breath to go gently on its tempo. Now the next round you can do a little bit more faster than the first round. Now breathing in, out. Breathing in, breathing out completely. Hold the breath. If you did a half a minute, go for a minute. If you did 1.5 minutes, go for 2 minutes. Inner lock, never lock, throat lock. So lungs are out of the breath at this very moment. Just breaking down the old and creating new, more aligned way of the breath, way of the being. Allowing sometimes the universe plan and the alchemy, the mystery to happen. The trust to happen. Take a deep breath in and allow the breath to move out. And a gentle breathing now. Now let's do the third cycle. If you can do about 30 in and out breaths, it would be amazing. Okay, wherever the count is, breathing in. In breath, out breath. Holding the breath. In a lock, never lock. Don't build up a pressure of yourself by breathing. Now gently breathing in, breath out. Now very gently twist the spine to the left and releasing that pessimistic opinions. Releasing the tension of the density. And allowing that generosity of the universe to come as a breath first realization. Now take a deep breath in, come back into the center, change the formation of the legs and twisting the spine and the shoulders onto the opposite direction, onto the right. You could allow your life to become more pliable instrument by allowing the body to be a bit more flexible. And allow that miraculous and the gracious energy to move in without holding anything. Breathing in back into the center, shoulders relax and chest open. Breathing in, arms raise onto the ground. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Shoulders relax and chest open. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Now take the energy in that space and graciously twisting the spine to the right, stomach pulled in. Spread the wings wider and go a little bit more further. So when you rush into situations in the life's body start becoming densing. Nothing good happens in this density of the body. So in the practice, you're letting go of that density. Even you might say, I need to get into this place very quickly. Breathing in back into the center. Change the leg formation for me. And arms raised on an in-breath. interlacing the fingers, palms facing up on the space of holding the breath. Then breathing out, twisting the spine to the left, stomach pulled in, very gently opening up. Twisting the spine further and very gently let your face have that charm, the expression to go with it, that you're releasing the tension of what you're holding, the density. And let bring in that innocence, the fun to come in through the breath, through the movement. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Now very gently, shoulders relax and chest open. You're very gently coming into a place of a seating cat and releasing the tension in the spine, completely breathing out, chin to the chest, and very gently aligning the spine to the, what is the energy that the universe is working on you, that you have been neglecting. It might be a bird chirping, it can be a color that is generating around you. Now breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate energy, gaze onto the third eye, and very gently allow that energy of the heart to rise, that loving consciousness and that spiritual sanctuary for all beings. May all beings, because all beings are being in unity. Now this will open up the eye to see the similarity that you're holding the family of everything that is around, not just my family, not just your family. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Into a place of cat and releasing that anxiousness for ourselves. Feel judged or betrayed, helpless, lost. And this is a place that it's fine to find the trust back again. Breathing in very gently, bring that flexibility back into the spine, shoulders, relax and chest open. Now very gently coming onto the knees, very gently coming onto the hands and coming into a neutral position. Now give a good rotation to the hips, wider rotation, and very gently, consciously recognize that you're releasing the tension that is coming out of the mind. But you're connecting the spiritual bond between every being and into the place of that mother, universe, or whatever you want to call, onto the other side. Personalities cannot become enlightened. The more harder ego is, it's very hard. Now very gently push the hips into the front consciously and push the hips into the back and allow the palms to be open, shoulder blades to relax. And this is the time while you're surrendering more than your plan, more than your ambitions. This is just asking for that protection from your own mind into the place of grace for all beings. This is also a time if you're deeply involved in your suffering, whatever your concern is, to you or to another member, trust that the energy of shift can reach any person. It doesn't travel through the mileage of what the mind thinks, that at this very moment it can reach. Trust in that grace, that everything is enough, you're enough, and everything is in the place of that energy. Now palms facing down, very gently crawling and bringing the chest into the front. So very gently coming into that place directly and bring the body into the familiar level of density into unfamiliar place of dropping the guard. It might become as uncomfortable experience. It can be coming as a tension for you. Embody everything and elbows onto the floor and very gently coming into that place of the being. So find the being of this Bhujangahasana. Remember, your mind continues to hold on to what it is known, if only for the comfort of familiarity. You're holding your past pains, the story. Now remember, your heart is more wanting the aliveness, not the story of a past. I'm not asking you to disregard the past, but see whether there is a shift happening. Don't hold yourself back from life. Life is in this very moment. Give yourself that space. Overlooking onto the left side very gently. Take a gentle breath and coming back into the center. Overlooking onto the right side. And take a moment, shoulders relaxed, third eye landing on the floor, on top of your hand. And just ask at this very moment, not from your mind, what is the spirit urging you on? So much more is meant for you. And all these things that you call difficulty, you have understood something deeply. You actually is truly over the past, but your mind struggled to feel it free from. Now what you're bringing is whether it's the breath, whether it's feeling the posture, is the presence, is the now is strengthening. Bringing that new cycle of life into you. Now very gently take a deep breath in, palms next to the chest level. You're breathing into a slight rotation of the up-faced dog. Just as the power to move on from the past as a new person with an enhanced sense of well-being. Now breathe out very gently towards the down-faced dog. Very gently bending the knees, very gently you're blossoming into the down-faced dog. So authenticity is very important rather than forcing the posture. At this very moment, you can release the tension of the shame or the blame that is holding even the shackles in the body. Bending one knee at a time, releasing the tension. Take a deep breath in, you lift up onto the toes, bend the knees and bring that lower ribs around that space and very gently opening up. If this is the time for you to reflect on grief, please embrace this as a blessing. Know that the past has no power to hold you back. It has a memory of the lesson. Now take a deep breath in, very gently, left leg up into the back. Give a good rotation to that foot and release in that tension. And you have a free will to live and free will to walk and release the tension, not getting into the old shoe. Left knee onto the left chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the right elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Now very gently dropping the back knee onto the floor, slowly lunging forward and backward to release the tension. And the consequences are of the force. There is no need to be fearful of this part of the body that holding that density. But the message is not a warning, rather it's the explanation. So see, the mind will take it as a warning and react to it. But consciousness on the space of the God, it's an explanation. The spirit will intercede on your behalf to prevent the movement along the path that may have seemed like a great idea at the time, but the circumstances are not yet known to you. So you're developing to understand, but you might think it's taking time. Now shoulders relax and chest open, arms stretch onto the sides, and holding onto the right arm on the top into the Garudasana. Gently release that frustration, feeling blocked or thwarted. Shift your frustration to now gratitude by just gently holding onto the third eye. So something great opportunity might be lost in your life and you might think you have lost it. But trust that what is meant to come to you shall come. And it will genuinely be able to enhance your happiness, fulfillment, rather than what you thought was a loss. Now spread the wings wider and touch the floor. Now take a deep breath in. Very gently elongate the left arm into the front, up to the ceiling, opening up. Gently give a rotation or take a mudra onto the left arm, just to bring them this level of trust. Set your intention in motion, but detach from the outcome. Knowing that only what you truly serve will find its ways into your world, not someone else. So left reaching into the back, touch the floor. Right arm reaching into the front, clench and unclench. Into the back and very gently touch the floor. Now, if you are comfortable in this posture, move the palms towards the right side, and if you have a bolster, support it. And you can either drop the elbows to release the tension and density that you might be carrying in the hips today, might be carrying in the groin. So become more present and very gently with your breath, try to experience it with the breath, not just by in the body or the mind, Now allow the breath of the present shows you really what is happening in this body that you are experiencing the God consciousness as you're developing that presence. Now, for me, a couple of days ago, I have to call the ambulance because I had a healing crisis. So, but that was the journey at that time, and it is not the journey this time. And it gave me opportunity to hold that compassionate space in that moment. Very vulnerable. Now very gently embrace that space that allows you to see things more in clarity and awareness, and come to realize that you have more choices, more wisdom, more strength than what you have previously recognized. And very gently take a deep breath in and gently coming back. Shoulders relaxed, just open. Feel the back is open. There is a lot of unfold with serenity in your heart. And you're closer that your body into a breakthrough than you realize. Into a plank. Now stronger on the pelvic floor. Left knee onto the floor. Right arm reaching into the front, up to the ceiling, clench and unclench. Keep your gentle breathing happening on the Ujjayi pranayama. Right reaching into the back and very gently touching the floor. Now very gently drop the knees, coming into a gentle cat. Allowing you to unfold the serenity in your spine. Drop the belly, tongue roll up into gazing onto the third eye, into the space of the cow. Breathe out. Take all the challenges as a surprise, again and again. And take all these things as nourishing into the essence. Now a gentle deep breath in into a neutral spine, left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Into the back under the armpit. Very gently release the tension of that shoulder on the left that you were carrying. And stretching that right arm. And allow yourself to be guided into the stretch. See every breath is an opportunity that arising to open your body into this pathway of opening. And every difficulty, there is a space of heart where your practice is allowing you to lovingly coming into the life, trusting. Very gently take a couple of deep breaths in this posture and see where the density is being held or protected. Allow the body to render into that space of the miracle. So this time might be something, a pathway that was denied to you suddenly opens out without any effort or strain. So take notes on those things that are happening for you. Now very gently take a deep breath in and gently coming back into the space of a neutral, and drop the belly into a very tangible place of the outcome, into the cow. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate. Breathe out. Anus lock, navel lock, throat lock, into a gentle space of the cat. Neutral spine. Give a good rotation to the hips very gently. Now, release the tension of the trust that you have it in the mind and allow the trust in the heart where it is more unconditional, more in the space of faith. When something isn't going according to your plan and you feel afraid and anxious, but you say, I trust, but your trust is on the outcome. So see the willingness to grow into the place, onto the other side. Now very gently coming into this place of the intelligence, the sacredness, the presence that is greater than your limitation of your human perspectives and plans. And push the hips into the front and stretch the spine into the back, palms facing up. At this time, coming into the place that the life is taking you on a spiritual trip, on a pilgrimage that opens up you into that divine intervention. It's not about letting go and coming into a place of passivity. Ask the question, have I fully participated in life? Now ask the place that, have you given a space of beyond reasoning that you do not understand? Even though you instinctively know that you're loved and you are enough, but you still interferes. This is the time that you allow that space of the soul, and there is a nurturing grace in it. In this silence, in this deep reverence, it comes. Palms facing down, very gently crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Gently coming into a gentle Bhujangasana. Very gently, as I say, let it unfold. Let the posture unfold, it's in own time. In the meantime, now you could see the conserving energy and moving into harmony. It's much more greater than mind and the thought. It depletes you because you have an idea of what you think you are. cultivate that detachment from the outcome that I have to do this in this time. Because this will free you not to hold back due to the fear of the failure. No to push from place of neediness. Allows your inspiration, intuitiveness, heart, fearlessly claim your right to rest. That is the biggest wealth in the planet. Claiming your right to rest. Or looking onto the left side very gently. Back to the center. Onto the other side. Breathing in back into the center. Shoulders relaxing. Just taking a moment to relax and allow the head to turn onto a side where it gently uses. Allow that stillness to replenish your physical and emotional and mental resources. What relaxation is the freedom to simply be in this moment. So it moves by inner spontaneity rather than willpower. So this is the way you find the flow. And very gently finding that spark is only going to ignite, not by effort. That's why always the wise likely to step back, switch off for a time. Even delays can be part of a forward moving process. So whatever it is in your life, it might be health for me, it can be for you a desire. It's just like the surfer waiting for the next wave. But in the ocean, where the moment when the energy begins to stir, so you can switch back on and rise with the movement of life. Trust in your own timing, whatever it is for you today. Breathing in back to the center, onto the knees. Onto the down face. Very gently see the sign, communicate with the sign, communicate with the body, communicate with the mind. Release all the preconceived ideas about yoga. Right leg up, give a good rotation. Deep breath in, breath out, right knee to the right chest. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back, right knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back, right foot into the flat. Drop the back knee onto the floor, holding onto the front knee. Just if you have been obstruct the free flow of communication between your heart and the universe, this is the time. Observe the triggering places to your inner knowing, not react. Now very gently holding onto the front knee, shoulders relax and just open. Elevate the space of the heart. So your reassurance comes from the connection to the moment. The arms stretched onto the side, Garudasana onto the left. Very gently. Just allow this posture to be bringing you the new, that you continue to seek, and very gently coming into that space. Now stroke the third eye, spread the wings wider, and very gently landing onto the left side. Using the balls to very gently releasing the tension of the groin, and whether you want to bring the elbows, whether you want to go deeper. It is within your own heart. Remember your own sovereign space of the being. This is the time to release all those projected definitions of others that you have kept living based on to belonging into a group or even not belonging to anything. Just coming into that space. Honoring your own right to respect your own self. Greater belonging in there. Breathing in very gently, coming back, shoulders relaxed. If you need to stay there, stay for a couple of more breaths into a plank. Very gently. Now very gently, right knee onto the floor. Actually, left knee onto the floor. Left knee onto the floor, sorry. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench. Right reaching into the back. Onto the floor. Drop the knees. Gentle space of a cat. Gently coming into the connection of a cow. Neutral spine. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Under the left armpit. Dropping that shoulder blade and release. This is a good moment that allowing your being to release that exquisite energy or the perfume. Just taking that time for yourself, but also not hiding yourself, bringing that space of the light into that space. Take a moment to have that gratitude, what you have learned, the areas you have grown into with the collective soul tribe that we are gathering here, that we are coming home. Somewhere deeply life is changing. Whether it's a moment of change, whether it's a short term, a long term, lifetime. Now, this is a time to drop all the personalities and connected and into that space. Now, very gently, this is where the personalities are clashing. But today, take a deep breath and breath out. If you're working through someone, let's say a friend or a partner, you're just a respectful visitor passing through each other's life in this quest to connect, to be clear about how much value your authenticity or need to be confirming, ordering to belong, but not to change them. Your change is, their change is your silence and how you move through very respectfully their life. Not necessary for their egos may get triggered, but there is still a respect. Breathing in very gently, coming back. So this is a time we are just there for people, not telling them what to do. Now, this is a time you can also coming into a neutral spine and give a good rotation to the hips, or coming into the Vajrasana, whatever you need to do at this level. So at this very moment, you could see the physical world is changing. I'm not telling you not to desire and feel that your desire is coming from a place of contentment. But what you really want to manifest, just feel that you have manifested and you're living, because in the end, it's a feeling. If you're at the moment healing, just feel that you're healed. And what would that experience be? Because when you really feel the healing, it is an experience. Now very gently coming into a place of seating. Shoulders relaxed. At this very moment, I want you to take a posture that trusts your body. And I want to feel what is meant to be when you trust the body. When you trust the breath. When you trust the movement. This is the moment you release in the further density that is carrying. So please be open to this reallocation. Allow this as an initiation. Allowing this breath to take you into the depth. Now for you, it might be depth of going into your own fears or doubts. But that is what holds the capacity to help you. This is the time you're reaching it with much more capacity to break free and truly connected into something much more greater. So let the next breath be the self renewing the spirit. This is the breath that gives the capacity to recover you from any trauma. No matter how deeply the scar. I have scars all over my body. I see the great value of that experience. Now you have the strength to move through this. Your future has not, I don't know what it is, but your moment is not troubling you. It's very gentle now. This might be an issue for a long time. For you, it might be a more dramatic shift. Life can't move through the mind or the ego. You have to find once held you captive is in the mind. Maybe for you, habit of struggle has become ingrained. And the battle of trying to be right and wrong and all that's begun to poison your heart with bitterness. At this very moment, you could see that you are free from this cycle of struggle. You only can invite it if you think about it, if you talk about it, if you activate the body into it. Take a deep breath in. Arms very gently stretch onto the sides, raising up to the crown. Very gently giving your ability to anchor your spirit into the space of the world through the hands, through the feet, through the heart. And allow that light to manifest. And bring the goodness stronger and deeper. Very gently coming into the crown chakra. Deeper you're grounding into the spirit. into your space of the crown, into the space of the third eye where you can see beyond the eyes. More you have become the space of the tree of life, growing deeper and stronger roots into the space of the throat. Allow those gentle words to come through the grounding, heart, providing that shelter and support. Solar plexus, that you're capable of more than the desires. You are capable of embodiment. Into the navel, that all that inspirational energy is plugged into this space, not just thoughts of fear and doubts. Grounding into your Muladhara, into the sacred earth, and into the feet. Maybe this will give me the strength to walk in this path. Arms very gently raising and feeling the value that you are capable of accomplishing it. Spreading that love and energy into your tribe without separation. Space of home is very important for everyone. Gently touching the earth, respect for this earth, where so many before us, after us, is going to walk. You have been through many, many lives, more difficulties, and you have overcome. Hold intentions to be open to receive whatever the assistance you need to attract the support, whether it is the teacher, whether it's the creation, whether it's the diet, whether it's a soul returning back as a pet, a being, or whether it's the acknowledgement of your own grace and inner strength. Gently coming out of the posture, palms onto the namaskar, position me. Consciousness, witnessing the consciousness. As I said in the start of the class, ego is the devil, which creates by the mind, and the consciousness is the God or the heaven, or the nature, or whatever it is. No offense to any religious practices. This is true. My own difficulties, I have realized it. Namaste. Namaste to Barbara. Thank you for coming into the class. So good to see you. I'll bring the camera around. Namaste to Marie. Namaste to Deza. Namaste to Sage. Namaste to Marie. Namaste to Liz. So today's practice is, as we have now gone more further into the depth of our understanding. So take this class or so. What I am going to do is I'm going to take a little break from my supporting the health conditions that we are going. So I think we had some, what you call this, brain?
Scan, the neurologist. Yeah.
Yes, so I had to have some minor clot happen, I think. So we will go to see a neurosurgeon and all that. And don't be upset about it. Don't be scared about it. This is part of the limitation of the body. It's going through. It doesn't mean I teach yoga, so I have to live 150 years or 200. I think that would be such a big curse. Imagine looking at the same thing for so long time. So, but we will find a way to serve this community because it's very important. And it does not mean that number is what we are looking at. But if you come into a place of that realization as a person, it has enlightened millions because your actions. So whether I live in this body or I live in your body, it doesn't matter because that's the being. And as always says, it's very important. Our being is one, whether it's a being that the God lives through a dog or the nature or whatever it chooses so that it can experience the life of that. But the mind suffers because the mind always wanted to be on top of, I want to be God, but you are God. So you only have to realize it. You're enough. And so coming to that place, so today was very deeper healing. So drink lots of water. At the moment, so I will let you know when I'm back because I have the eye specialist, diabetic specialist, brain specialist, you name it, all specialist.
The heart.
And a heart specialist, all that has come on one go because
Well, your heart's so open now.
We experience all these things through. So I will gently work on those matters and I will return back to you guys soon. But the YouTube has so many classes and I will upload more.